and welcome everyone. We seem to be up and at 'em this morning. It is still technically morning here on the Pacific Coast. I'm in Los Angeles at the Stable Boy Studios. Thanks to producer Jojo for providing those to us. And thanks to God for providing us all to each other to share in this great experience we like to call life. Electric word, life. It means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you there's something else. The afterworld. Actually, there's no afterworld. I've died. I've been there. It's boring. You're done. Zero reason whatsoever why there should be an afterlife. Was there a pre-life? Do you remember the pre-life? No. There was nothing, and then you existed, and then you die, and you're done. Anyway, not to shit on everybody's religion right off the bat. It is still morning here. So I'm going with Spilling COVFEFE. That's what we'll be doing here today. Good morning, Deidre. Good morning, Cindy. Stephanie's in the room. Shout out to Allison. Allison! Thanks to you, I use those new blades, those new hockey blades on my skates, the knives that you put on your hockey boots. I used those for the first time after missing 6 months because of a broken foot, and I scored 2 goals using those blades. So thank you to Allison for that. Yay for Allison. And we lost. My daughter scored a goal, I had 2 goals, and we lost 4-3. But more importantly than that, the Oilers won Game 6 against the Los Angeles Kings to force a Game 7 tomorrow night. So we got Game 7 playoff hockey if you're a big NHL fan, which I know nobody watching this broadcast is. So, Jen Psaki just held her last press conference, if I'm understanding correctly. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I just pulled up YouTube so I could start this broadcast, and I noticed that Brian Tyler Cohen had put up a link from yesterday with Jen Psaki. And the title is New Fox Reporter Tries to Spar with Jen Psaki, Instantly Regrets It. And that was clickbait enough for me to say, let's share that with the group. How is everybody? We're going to have a regular movie night tonight. I've had some coffee-flavored espresso beans this morning. Chocolate-covered espresso beans. I guess all espresso beans, they're coffee-flavored. That's how that works. Okay, let's see what happened here yesterday with a new Fox reporter talking to an old press reporter. This is Jen Psaki's second from last day, her penultimate press conference, if you will, and I hope you do.
Yeah, presidents.
Okay, you guys can't hear that, or maybe you can, but it's not coming in properly. Let me switch settings right here, and we'll try again. Penultimate press conference, if you will. And I hope you do.
Comments last night. He went off about
He's talking about the president's comments last night.
MAGA again.
Yeah. The president went off on MAGA. Joe Biden hasn't gone off on anything in about 60 years. But yes, he did, I would say, lean into MAGA, lay into MAGA. But he hasn't gone off in something in a long time.
MAGA King.
Yes,
King
he
MAGA.
referred to former President Trump as the Ultra MAGA King. He's been decrying Ultra MAGA Republicans and saying he's going to be doing it more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Hillary Clinton expressed some regret not too long ago for referring to Trump voters as deplorables who couldn't be redeemed.
Oh, only half of them. Only half of them. She way underestimated.
And considering that Trump got 74 million votes in the last election, I'm just wondering if this is the best strategy for Biden to win people.
Well, that means, let's do the math on that. So that's 37 million deplorables. And that's probably about right.
Win over support ahead of the midterms, especially given his...
You know, the people who don't think that we should give immigrant babies formula. Because they don't deserve the formula. By the way, I was in a grocery store yesterday. I went by, and this is in California. This is in Southern California. Not far from South Central LA. Plenty of baby formula. There are shortages throughout the country. The reason for that, despite what Fox is telling you, the reason for that, let's back up a second here. We'll get to this story, or maybe we won't. I don't care. There were some bacteria in baby formula distributed here in the United States, and at least 2 babies died. Not clumps of cells, actual living human being babies, not aborted after birth, not murdered, but killed by baby formula. So the FDA's job is to say, hey, let's not have baby killing formula available. So they figured out where it was coming from, this Abbott plant, and they shut it down. And bacteria is one of those things where you can't just go through the machinery and open one up and, oh, there's the bacteria. Get out of here. Shoo. Okay, start her up again. No. Everything has to be cleaned, tested, recertified. Why? Because it's baby formula. These aren't sprockets. You can't just take, oh, wait, here's a factory that makes baby strollers. Okay, tomorrow you're making baby formula. Go. That's just not the way it works. So yes, there are shortages of baby formula. But baby formula is available. It's out there. But now Fox, for 12 minutes yesterday, I was watching a broadcast. It was with Harris Faulkner. And Harris went on for 12 minutes about this baby food shortage and blaming Biden for the baby food shortage. And they had, I think it was Senator Cotton on there. And Cotton was telling about how the FDA won't even tell us why they're doing this. No, everyone knows why they're doing it. Anyway, 12 minutes of ranting about Biden's baby build back baby killing formula. And they never once, which is a portmanteau of once and mentioned, so I'm just going to use that from now on. You're welcome. Judges agree. Thank you. They never once mentioned that the baby formula had bacteria in it that was killing babies. 12 minutes of ranting on this, including Senator Cotton, could have been another senator, but I think it was Cotton, ranting about how the FDA won't even tell us. The secrecy, it's idiocy. And I said this several months ago, and it might have been a year ago at this point. We've crossed that border. The Republicans have a wide open border, and it's that border between sanity and lunacy. And the Republicans are way over that line. Keep in mind, I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I never voted for Hillary. I never voted for Bill. Honestly, I'm trying to remember which candidate I voted for this last time. Might have been Biden. Typically, I vote for a third-party candidate because I want a third party in this country. And I've lived in states where my vote makes no difference whatsoever. Oh no, every vote counts. No, it doesn't. We have the Electoral College. You have never voted for a president. Ever. In this country. That's not the way it works. You vote for an elector. And then the elector decides for whom they're going to vote. Yeah, so you don't vote for president in this country. I mean, no, you do. You write down it. And there's very little in stopping an elector from voting for whomever they want. They can be what's called faithless electors. That's another story for another day. We're not going to fix that here. Let's check in on the chat here. Mega always embrace their deplorableness. They do. Yeah, it's not a McDonald's ice cream machine where they make the baby formula. Oh, if it was, there's the solution right there, Marcy. Just serve babies McDonald's ice cream. It's soft. Babies like soft things because they don't have teeth, and it may or may not have dairy in it. Smart. Thank you, Marcy. Notice the judges didn't give an agreement on that one, so they might know something that we don't. Tracy says, so tons of kids can die from COVID, but 2 babies die and they shut the source down. So weird. Different thing there, but okay. All right. Very, very upset. These same people on the Fox, so upset about a clump of cells that does not have a heartbeat yet, might be aborted, or that even though the baby may look somewhat like an immature baby in the fetus, but it's going to kill the mother, can't have that. Can't have that. Joe Manchin voted against a bill. This is not a Republican, by the way. Joe Manchin voted against the bill that Republicans claim will make abortion legal all the way up to birth. That's not the case. After what's called viability, which is set forth in Roe v. Wade, after the point of viability, abortions are legal if it's going to endanger the health of the mother. Because you really don't want your baby killing the mom. That's just the way that we think as a society. But Republicans don't mind. Tracy says, my local McDonald's has no frozen dairy products. Doesn't surprise me. A little of apples and oranges, but goes to show uneven protection of children from different things and having different thresholds. Yes. And babies, more babies died from COVID than died from the baby formula that we know of. That's the trouble. We don't really know. Several babies have probably died, but I don't want to say likely. I don't want to say probably. We just don't know. We know at least two babies. And one baby, too many babies to die. Or even to have around. They're a pain. You gotta change them. They poop everywhere. It's like having an old person around.
Inaugural theme being America United.
Well, I would say that the president...
Trump got 74 million votes in the last election. I'm just wondering if this is the best strategy for Biden to win over support ahead of the midterms, especially given his inaugural theme being America United.
Well,
I think he's welcome to have anybody unite with him.
I would say that the president is not afraid to call out what he sees as extreme positions that are out of line with where the American people stand, and whether that is supporting a tax plan that will raise taxes on 75 million Americans making less than $100,000 a year.
That is true. That is Rick Scott's tax plan for America, which the Republicans are now sprinting away from. But he's the guy in charge of getting Republican senators elected. And that was his proposal, that everyone, even the desperately poor that don't have a job, they got to pay some taxes somehow.
Or whether it is supporting efforts to overturn Roe v. Wade, something that 2/3 of the American people...
You going to the food bank, ma'am? Okay, on your way out, we're going to need 2 of those 12 eggs.
In a Fox News poll, may I add, supported. And there are countless examples from there. The president believes that there is still work we can do together. The Bipartisan Innovation Act is a good example of that.
Deidre, you think you had Deidre had to have powdered milk as a kid, and that's why she doesn't like milk now. In our family, we had powdered water. You had to dilute it to taste it. That's how bad we had it.
But again, he is not going to stand back and stand aside while people are pushing for extreme positions that are not in the interests or supported by the vast majority of the American people.
Of Ultra MAGA. Now, you saw Representative Lee Stefanik saying, I'm Ultra MAGA and I'm proud of it. Former Trump super PAC blasted out a t-shirt of him as an Ultra MAGA Superman. He, on his own Twitter alternative platform, released a meme of him as the Ultra MAGA King. I guess I'm curious what the administration makes of Republicans and the former president sort of co-opting this and elevating what President Biden clearly intended as a pejorative.
Well, I think if that means that the individuals you mentioned are embracing their opposition to a woman's right to make choices about her own health care, if they're embracing a plan that will raise taxes on 75 million Americans, if they're embracing the importance of fighting Mickey Mouse over virtually any other issue, I guess that's their platform. Good for them. We're happy to have a debate about that. Go ahead.
Okay, so so I'm just going to let Brian do his thing. So you can check out Brian's YouTube channel. He actually do subscribe to Brian. Actually, he does put up a lot of interesting material. I obviously subscribed to him because when I turned on the YouTube, it said, "Hey, you should take a look at this." Now let's jump over. If anybody else has something else to discuss, we'll jump over here to Fox and Friends in the meantime. I don't know what movie we want to watch tonight. There's all kinds of new movies I haven't seen lately. There's Barry has new episodes, and I love me some Barry. I haven't watched the end of Ozark. So lots to discuss tonight. We'll do movie night. If you're not in our movie night, find out. Talk to people in the chat room here. Whatever platform you're watching on, be it Twitter or YouTube. I think we're up on Twitch right now as well. Wherever you are, if you chat on that platform, it goes over here into the blue chat room. So that's where you guys can discuss. If somebody wants in on the movie night, let them know. Maybe before movie night, like 5 minutes before movie night, I should do a little thing saying, does anybody want to be movie night? And then people will find it, and it doesn't matter. We got our nice little tight little group, and it's nice because then we tune in, we turn on our cameras, we do like a Zoom meeting, everybody's naked, and we watch a movie, and it's a lot of fun. All right, let's see. Yeah, well, actually, we'll watch the highlights. So, it's going to be right off the lead. Right off the lead, it's the baby formula. I said the other day, when I did Spilling COVFEFE, that I thought the lead on the Fox and Friends was going to be about the protests and the violence threatened at the Supreme Court justices, that they were going to petition and they were going to threaten, like it'll be like January 6th all over again, and the poor Supreme Court justices, they fled their houses. I wasn't right about it being the lead story on Fox and Friends, but then it was the lead story on every other Fox broadcast I saw that day, so I I'm going to say I was kind of right. The judges gave me a muted agreement on that one. But there was much to do about what turned out to be, like I said, totally nothing. It was people walking by houses or standing in front of the houses with signs. There was no violence. There was somebody a couple of days before that had attacked an anti-abortion office or something. Don't do that. Do not commit violence. But anyway, it was fine. The walk by Wednesday turned out to be just fine. I haven't heard of anything being disrupted. I don't know. Maybe they left some trash on the side of the road. I have no idea. But it was fine.
The baby formula shortage has parents across America at a breaking point.
Meanwhile, Republicans are sounding the alarm after they found out baby formula is being sent to the...
There's some baby formula. So there's a couple of boxes here of baby formula. Look at the bottom. That's this is Fruit Go-Go. This is the stuff you give like applesauce and stuff. This is for older kids. But yeah, the federal government legally has to provide food for infants, for children, because of the Flores Agreement. We know this. Trump hated the Flores Agreement. Remember, Trump called it Judge Flores. It was the case of Reno versus Flores back in the 90s. And Flores, of course, one of the people involved in the lawsuit, but Trump thought that the judge's name was Flores because it's called the Flores decision or the Flores settlement. Because Trump's a fucking moron.
southern border.
Lead story that, oh my God, they're giving applesauce. Anyway, if you can't find baby formula and you're out there watching somewhere, call your local health department. Okay? They will point you towards resources that will get you the baby formula. We have enough baby formula in this country. It's just a matter of distribution, like so many other things in this country, including money. Sorry, I thought for a second I was on the Young Turks. I'm sorry. Moving on.
This is exactly what America Last looks like.
America Last. Please. These babies are on American soil. Suddenly we hate babies if they're not the right color. I mean, we've always hated babies if they're not the right color, right?
Gas prices all...
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing, Stephanie. Some people are buying, but when this was all coming down in February, and I want to say, I hesitate to call these people smart. I would call them shrewd. The shrewd folks went out and bought a ton of baby formula.
Week-long hit.
Because they heard about the FDA ruling saying, hey, that plant's got to shut down. The real problem with all of this, the real problem, once again, is that we have monopolies in this country. You've got very few distributors, very few plants making the vast majority of the baby formula. So when one plant goes offline, we have a crisis. These are all the eggs in three baskets.
One new record high after another.
There is no plan. There is no strategy.
Record high gas prices and record high profits for Exxon. Doubled the profits from last year.
He does not know what to do.
Safe smoking kits found.
No, they are taking action. The first thing you do is stop the plant where the bacteria is coming from that's killing the babies. That's exactly what you do. The next thing is you offer them any kind of support you can give them, and you make sure that the FDA streamlines the recertification of the plant. But it takes time.
Up and down the East Coast include crack pipes.
Jen Psaki said back
Okay,
in
what?
February.
Week-long hitting one new record high after another.
There is no plan. There is no strategy. He does not know what to do.
Safe smoking kits found up and down the East Coast include crack pipes.
I haven't heard a thing about that, but that looks interesting. What about the West Coast? What about us out here? We always get ignored.
Jen Psaki said back in February, oh no, the pipes are not in the kits. And happily the media pushed this narrative. What we decided was actually to go out and do the real work.
All right.
Oh, the free crack pipes. Oh, so they found the actual free crack pipes that they were cracking up about? Okay.
Great.
Today is Jen Psaki's last day as press secretary.
Are you going to miss Peter Ducey?
I will. I think we have a very good professional relationship.
Okay. Okay, we got to skip the Stevie Wonder too. God, I love Very Superstitious. This is a fantastic song. Try and listen to this song and not bounce up and down. You can't do it. We can't listen to it, though, unfortunately. YouTube would give me a copyright violation. How's everybody doing? If you have something going on this weekend, let us know in the chat room. Let's talk about that. We don't have to talk about the stupid news.
To say we, because we're a team.
See, they're even enjoying it. But we can't. I'm sorry. Maybe if you join us for movie night tonight, because we're off the grid, we'll listen to Very Superstitious.
Sure.
Were you working at Fox? Backstage. No, I was actually working in San Antonio, so it really wasn't we. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, we interviewed him at when I was doing the ABC Dick Clark Rockin' New Year's Eve thing, where they dropped the ball on ABC. And I worked there temporarily one day a year.
What was the interview like?
I did it with him, and it was great. Yes. And he was a wonderful person, and he said, "Boy, is it cold," and he just kept saying, "Boy, is it cold." And
did someone pass away? Is that what they're talking about? We got to go back.
See Dick Clark Rockin' New Year's Eve thing where they dropped the ball.
We're a team.
Sure.
Were you working at backstage? No, I was. We interviewed him once. He's so nice.
Who?
It's perfect to start the day.
It's got to be Stevie Wonder. I've heard nothing but good things about Stevie Wonder, except one bad thing. But other than that,
well, we interviewed him at when I was. And boy, is it cold, and then they took him back inside.
Well, I was in local news at the time, and I remember I cannot believe I'm sitting here talking to Stevie Wonder.
No kidding.
Right. Okay, now I should have just let it play for 5 more seconds. I jumped the gun on that one. I'm sorry.
And it was at the Spurs game, the Spurs and Pistons in the final championship game.
And I think he probably felt the same way about you.
Isn't She Lovely? Is a lovely song. It's another fantastic Stevie Wonder song. What you can do, if you ever have the opportunity, is pull up your Spotify's or your Amazon Music's or whatever, and just have it play an early Stevie Wonder album. And it'll just set your mood for the day. Really, any of them, from like his 3rd album on, just has such a groove to it. The man was a master. Probably still is. I don't think he died. Just in case. Just in case somebody interprets that.
I also remember Stevie Wonder did not like rap when he.
Wait a minute. He just said that in the past tense. Did Stevie Wonder die? Oh, Fred Ward passed away. Well, R.I.P. Fred.
First came out.
Really?
Remember, he says it's like he didn't think it was music. It was going to be around too long. He was wrong, and we've made a nice living because of rap since then.
Listen, he's one of the greatest.
Brian Kilmeade has made a nice living because of rap? What's happening? Stevie Wonder's still alive, right, people? Did I miss that in the COVIDs?
American singers of all time. Happy birthday, Stevie. In the meantime...
Okay, it's his birthday. Okay, he's alive. You don't celebrate No, you do, because you celebrate Beethoven's birthday. Shakespeare's birthday, April 23rd. We celebrate it every year. I know. I'm sorry if you guys are bored of this. I cannot stop talking about Shakespeare.
We're starting with something we didn't know about 2 minutes ago. And we just got it in.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here's some Elon news. This is, I know there's a war in Ukraine. I know there's a baby formula shortage. I know that. But here's a billionaire with something to say.
It's a Fox News
top story.
Alert, because Elon Musk's Twitter takeover apparently is temporarily on hold.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Guys, did you hear? Elon Musk, hold on. Guys, emergency. Hey, everybody outside. Elon Musk's is temporarily on hold. Oh my God. Everyone panic. Set, loot. Somebody steal something.
He's a billionaire, and he tweeted just a few moments ago, quote, Twitter deal temporarily on hold pending details supporting calculation that spam/fake accounts do indeed represent. Okay, let me see. Represent less than 5% of users.
All right, Charles Payne will react to this at the bottom of the hour.
Oh, good. Thank God. We'll have to go watch that. The fuck cares? How is this the breaking news top story? Fine. I'm sorry if I caused a panic. If you hear about buildings on fire in Burbank, California, that's on me. Same thing a couple of days ago when I was running around Laguna telling everybody about what's going on with Elon. I overreact to this kind of stuff.
He's taking it all in now, and actually attached to that story was a Reuters report that goes into detail about basically who's on Twitter. See, on the surface, getting this story 2 minutes ago, I would actually think that's good news for the purchase.
Trump has started truthing on Truth Social. He's now using it like Twitter, so he's just kind of gotten around to it now. And that's his, you know, Elon Musk should not buy Twitter. Sad. Overrated Elon Musk. He's not saying that. I don't know what he's saying because I don't have Truth Social. Can you even get Truth Social yet? They're just talking about getting a web platform for it. But is it even on Android yet? Hold on. Let's check out and see if the Truth Social is on the Android yet. I mean, that's basic, let's do it this way sort of thing. If you are going to start an app, do it for 95% of your audience instead of 40%. Include the Android folks in there. Let's just see if it's up there yet. Truth Social. Search for it before. And Truth Social Media. I don't think that's an actual. No. This looks more like Instagram. No, that's not. It's just a fakey one. So Android already has a fakey version of Truth Social. Good morning at random. Or afternoon.
Because if you have 229 million users and only 5% are fake,
right.
I would still think that's a good investment. Is he trying to get the number down? Well, I mean, if it was 55% or 65%.
I don't care. Moving on.
20% more.
Shut up.
We'll have Charles.
Okay. All right. We're still talking about this.
Is now saying
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the baby formula.
Alexa. I always thought Alexa was a grown-up.
What?
You have an Alexa. Put it on, right?
Sure. What message would you like to say to the Alexas?
I've got it. Alexa, find me baby formula, because we know that there is a shortage. Alexa. I always thought.
It's crying like a baby because there's not enough formula for the people, and then the babies they're starving. Because babies die quickly because they don't have a lot of fat. I had a lot of fat when I was a baby. I was all about fat. I still love fat. In fact, one time in a shopping market, I had so much pudge on my pudgy little arms when I was a baby. One time a little girl asked her mommy, said, "Mommy, why does that lady put rubber bands on her baby?" She thought my mom had so much pudge. It was all muscle. It's all forearm muscle. Pretty much Popeye when I was a baby.
That's a baby Alexa. That's a baby
Alexa. Apparently,
that's a baby
still an
crying who doesn't have formula.
It's a baby crying that doesn't have formula. Boom, boom. So what else is going on?
What they would have said is go to the border. That's where this.
You're right.
What is happening over there? First we had 4.5 minutes of Elon Musk news. Now we've got babies crying. We got sound effects of babies crying because they're starving. They're so hungry.
Kat Kamek is now saying that she got some pictures of our border children, the illegal immigrant.
Who did?
That's a baby Alexa. That's a baby
Alexa.
Alexa.
Apparently,
that's a baby
still an
crying who doesn't have formula.
And what they would have said is go to the border. That's where this.
If this is your new, if I ever do a morning show and that happens, I'll say, babies are dying because of the bacteria, and right now there are mothers who are afeared of their baby dying because that baby may be allergic to a particular type of formula that's only produced at that particular location. And those mothers are very concerned right now that their 3-week-old baby is not going to make it to week 4. Could we please not play the baby crying to get a laugh?
Right, because Kat Kamek is now saying that she got some pictures.
Kat Kamek?
Of our border children, the illegal immigrant children, are getting formula. She said there are vats of them.
No, they're being processed. They're not illegal.
Big pallets of them on this truck that are being stocked at the border.
Yeah, and she got those images from a Border Patrol agent who's been doing that for a very long time. And one of the reasons, listen, it's all, and they're.
Okay, so this is a Walgreens. Effective immediately, all infant formula sales are limited to 5 units per customer per day per child. That's a lot of formula. But okay. Returns are not allowed. I think that's pretty standard. I don't think you can return baby formula. If for the protection of the babies, go figure. There's some Similac right below it, and that's from Abbott Labs. This is, so right here in this picture, this is from the place that's having difficulty distributing. Okay? That's, now there's different formulas. I get it. I've had kids. I mean, I didn't feed them. I had a wife, right? Yeah, there's different formula, etc. But this is San Antonio. There's probably other grocery stores in the area. Like I said, I was at a grocery store yesterday. Plenty of formula. So this is a distribution product, and I get a problem. But I get it. I get it. But you know what would be super funny? If there was a baby crying right now on my bride. Who's got the sound effects? Judges, do the baby crying thing. Hilarious. I can't hear it enough.
Are some of the images right there?
Do we have anything of a dog choking? Because we're going to talk about dog food next. Can we do that?
Town, but on the border, the shelves look different.
So American.
Okay, let's go back to the pile. Let's go back, and we're doing the Elon story again. So when Charles Payne comes on at the bottom of the hour, I want the sound of a billionaire just ejaculating onto a pile of money. That'll be super funny. Oh, no, you don't get it. I know it's disgusting, but you got to put it in context. There's a bunch of starving people from Africa watching him do that. Okay? So get that sound effect ready to go. All right, thank you. Judges are all geared up for this. They got like a job now, right? Usually it's just ringing the bell. But now they're like, oh my God, we're doing drops. This is great. So hyped up for this.
Families, there's a shortage, but if you're a migrant, don't worry because Uncle Sam has a stash of that. She's actually going to be talking to Ainsley very shortly. Listen.
Well, by law, they have to provide that. That's part of the Flores settlement. They have to provide infants with formula. And they're only allowed to keep children in custody for X number of days. Trump hated that. Remember how he railed against Judge Flores?
Yesterday, we've heard the administration say, yeah, we're working on it 24/7, 24/7.
Okay, there's some formula there. There's not enough, obviously, but there's some formula.
What are they doing?
Waited too long.
Yesterday, the Republicans on Capitol Hill called a press conference.
So here's Kat Kamek. Let's pull this up. I see a whole bunch of, I don't know if you guys see that. We'll zoom in. Give me a second here. There we go. So this is the tweet set out by Kat Kamek, and I see this baby food. So this whole bunch of applesauce and pear sauce and stuff like that. That's what that. And then down here as well, and then you've got some infant formula. Okay. This is a picture of one pallet, and then you've got over here. You've got baby formula, but the shelves are they're not fully stocked. Okay. All right.
And they talked about the very latest here with Joe Biden not being able to provide enough baby formula for the country. And
is that Joe Biden's job?
So the Republicans had a press conference, and then out of nowhere, the White
Build back babies. Build back babies.
White House announced that the president was on the phone with Walmart and Target talking about distribution of baby formula, and he was also
good
on the phone with Reckitt and Gerber, which are two baby formula manufacturers.
Great. Good news.
You know what's really interesting?
He's got a bad.
What's really interesting about that he's doing a really good job with this?
Staff. Why is he waiting so long to do all this? Could have been 3 weeks ago, 2 months ago.
Well, Brian,
back in February they closed Abbott.
Here's the important thing. Ainsley, you just hit on it. Abbott. Abbott is the big lab, the big factory that was closed in February. Abbott apparently was not on the phone call. Why wasn't Abbott Labs on?
Well, Abbott knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and right now they can't produce. Why get them in on the phone call? They have a job right now, and it's to get that factory up and running. You know what? We're going to take your time. We're just going to, come on in. Go ahead and produce baby food. Abbott's like, okay, duh? Why? No. I mean, it is so ridiculous how the Fox and Friends are framing this. Oh, the president is talking to providers, seeing there's anything that we're not already doing that can be done to help American babies. Well, why isn't he talking about to the one company that it doesn't matter whether he talks to them? Fuck off, people. Like I said, border. Open border to Crazy Town.
The phone call with the...
At Random says he could have just made a couple of calls months ago and there would magically be no issues, but he just didn't because he hates babies. Judges agree. The judges always agree with At Random. And yes, Stephanie, they have been working on this issue since February.
President, it was a company called Reckitt, which is much smaller than Abbott, and Gerber. That's crazy.
And Abbott's the nation's largest formula manufacturer.
Right. And do we not see the problem with that? When one company that's the nation's largest gets shut down, bad things happen? Are we starting to kind of get to the whole, like, ounce of prevention thing?
They say they could resume production within 2 weeks, pending FDA approval.
But then it's going to take a while for that baby formula to get out to the... Yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's see if they follow that up. But it won't be until at least...
But it will take them at least 2 months, if they do get that approval, to put the formula back on our shelves.
But, here's fantastic news, but it's still bad. Everything is terrible.
What was the president doing? Talking about the Putin price hike on a farm when he should have went right in front of the Abbott lab. And what you do is, and we already been through this.
He should have went right in front of the Abbott lab? For what purpose, Brian?
Because we have COVID-19. You meet with the FDA and say, why'd you pull everything off the shelves? You got 4 recalls. What happened? How close are you to green?
Yeah, no, this is a Republican talking point. They had a little conference a couple of days ago where the crazy Republicans came out in front of the House and they talked about how Biden was failing the babies of the United States. And that was like right after the previous talking point of the Supreme Court walk by Wednesday where all the Supreme Court justices had to flee the country, which never happened.
Lighting this 12 weeks is not good enough. You have to pick up the pace. Of course you don't want to sacrifice health of children because of that. That's why you pulled it off to begin with. But you can't have red tape when it comes to baby formula. So now...
No, you absolutely have to have red tape when it comes to formula, Brian. That's what the FDA is. It's okay. There have to be regulations and strict checks of the product. That's how that works. I mean, unless you're in communist China. So if Brian wants to be part of communist China, that's all. I'm all for that. I will support Brian all the way to the end of the earth, and the end of the earth happened to be in the other side of the planet. And that's...
Now they're quickly saying, you know, Europe's got some formula. Can we bring that in? Great.
No, because it does not meet the guidelines of the FDA. But there may be ways to cut that regulation. Yeah. Still takes a while to get here. But... that formula will take at least 2 days to get here.
Is anyone ahead of the game on that in that administration? Does anyone have a child that could come in and say, hey, by the way, I went over to Rite Aid? And
why would the child come in and tell them where the formula is? The children don't drive. It's a stupid thing to say.
And there's no formula? Yeah. Can someone give some real-world experience to somebody at that White?
No, they're aware of that. The reason that they're having these press conferences is because they're aware that there are some shortages in some locations. 6 states. No, I'm lying. Don't quote me on that. That's from 2 days ago.
House, because they thought it's probably only Republican babies that need...
Oh, and by the way, those states are not out of formula. They're at 50% levels. So there's still formula.
Formula, so why do they have to bother? Then they realized the kids don't have to declare their party affiliation until they're able to vote.
Oh, I get it. They don't care about babies because babies can't vote yet. Okay, all right, that all makes sense now. The Democrats just want to kill the babies before they're born, and then after they're born, they want to kill them again. Except the Republicans are the ones who are saying just get the baby formula out there without being checked for the bacteria that's killing babies. So it's all so confusing. I wish I was smarter than I am. I'm sure it makes sense. Did she just say Stefanik? Because Crazy Town's about to be breached one more time.
The Republican congresswoman from upstate New York, she said she has a 9-month-old son named Sam. He's
poor kid.
Formula fed. She said the shelves are fairly empty in upstate New York and babies are going to bed hungry. She said the Biden...
Fairly empty. Don't send your baby to bed hungry, by the way. There are other options.
Administration should have had a plan.
Hot dogs, popcorn, anything that can't fit into a toilet paper tube, that's what babies love. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. Do not give your babies hot dogs. But when my kids were little, what if you took that list and it's all the things that you should not give babies because it'll get jammed in their throat, and then you took a list of all the things that my children love to eat, same list. Save yourself the paper.
Months ago, and she calls him bare shelf Biden and says he's continued to pass the buck.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is, why didn't Joe Biden's administration...
Bare shelf Biden? This is the same lady who couldn't find toilet paper in 2020? Okay. Bare shelf Biden. You know what I'm going to do after this broadcast? I'm going to just run over here to the supermarket and take a look and see what they've got. I'm going to go to the 99-cent store and see if there's baby formula. And there may be. There may not be. I don't know. Again, it's a regional thing. I don't know how many states are at 50% supply now. I hope they're not. I hope all the babies get all the formula they need. I don't even think I should have to say that, but I have to.
In February...
Babies love beer nuts. I still love beer nuts.
When they closed the plant...
The largest producer of formula in our country.
Abbott Labs produces 98%...
Because they were killing babies. Okay? That's why they were closed. Because they were killing babies with bacteria. And it's really hard to find the bacteria in the machinery.
And says he's continued to pass the buck.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is, why didn't Joe Biden's administration, in February, when they closed the plant...
February? Is there not an R in there anymore? Did we take that out like library?
The largest producer of formula in our country.
Abbott Labs produces 98%, or rather 98% of the formula in the country is manufactured...
Really, really hoping this is going somewhere. But I'm interested in this whole 98% from one lab theory that they're working on. I'm wondering how he's going to clean that up. Did he say it correctly? Good for him. It sounded weird in my ear.
That American babies use is made here in the United States. Only 2% imported. So it's...
Okay. So it's not Abbott Lab producing 98%. It's 98% made here in America. The way Biden likes it. So, America first except for 2%. But what? What does that have to do with anything?
Crazy that they're saying, yeah, we're going to import all that stuff. But why, when they closed that...
No, they're not saying that.
...plant, didn't they immediately say, you know what, this is going to cause a problem, and we know all about supply chain issues, so this is our plan. They should have announced that in February, and that's one of the things that Jackie Heinrich pressed Jen Psaki on. By the way, today's Jen's last day, yesterday. Why didn't this administration see it coming?
What?
Seemed like...
Oh, this is yesterday. This is Thursday.
We should have seen this coming, that maybe the FDA could have done more on the baby formula shortage. The whistleblower who used to work at that Sturgis plant warned the FDA top officials about safety concerns in October, but they didn't interview that whistleblower until December. The inspection wasn't until January 31st. The recall happened February 17th. So is that timeline acceptable to the White House?
I'm sure there will be plenty of time to take a look at if there are any issues that could have been improved here. I don't have any specific analysis of that at this moment in time. What I will note is that there has been work ongoing on this for months.
And they may have dropped the ball on this. We don't know.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kat Kamek, who won...
But these are questions that have to be asked. So we don't know the answers, but we're going to bitch about it.
Took a picture of what's going on at the border.
Border Patrol.
Border Patrol, and also there was...
Hold on. Let's find the actual picture, because I don't want to shit all over Kat Kamek here, if it's in fact... Okay, let me just search Twitter here for Kat Kamek. I don't know who she is. Wait, is she? Is she a congressperson? The name is familiar. Okay, Kat Kamek. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, she's a congresswoman. Okay. Proud wife of a first responder. Good for her. Thank your husband for her service. She is from Florida. Florida's 3rd District is where Kat Kamek is from. And let's see. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Okay, and Don Jr. Don Jr. retweeted her. Here's the actual tweet, and we'll zoom in here for you so I do it as much justice as I can. Don Jr. says, America Last is clearly today's Democrat Party platform. It's Democratic. And remember, the Republicans do not have a platform. So here's the full picture. Coming back. There we go. There's your full picture. There's some formula, but obviously shortage. Let's go to the other picture here. And, okay, do not take the baby food. Again, you've got go-go stuff up top. That's fruit product. More fruit product down here. And then one shelf. I don't know about these being pallets, but there's a shelf here. I don't know why they're only showing us one shelving unit. I have these same shelves. These are from Costco. They'll hold 800 pounds. But I don't know where the rest of this shelf is. But there you go. There are boxes. Whoops. There are boxes of baby formula available for babies at the border. All right. All right, moving on.
Who's celebrating?
I don't know how that's an outrage. We're feeding babies. And in this case, they have the legal obligation to feed those babies. That's a United States law that they have to feed those babies. But okay, I hope no babies are harmed with the lack of formula. Again, if you are having issues feeding your child, reach out to your county health department. There is help available wherever you are in the United States.
It's police week in our...
Marcy's hospital contracts for which formula they use is like a cage match. Most new moms continue to use whatever they get from day one.
Her husband's a cop.
I didn't know that, Marcy.
It says this, the first photo.
We used, with the children, we used whatever they spit up the least. That's how we figured that out. Here's what we did. We went to Canada and bought baby formula because we were up in Canada all the time. I was acting up in Canada and up in Vancouver. So when I was across the border, I would buy baby formula because it's a fraction of the price. And not a fraction like 7/8. A fraction like 1/2, 2/3 to 1/2 the price because the Canadian government sets limits on how much you can charge for formula. So down here, a can of formula was $9. Up in Canada, you would get the exact same formula, except that there was French writing as well on the carton, the can, and it would be $2.50, $3 Canadian, which is like 28 cents. But nope, we don't do that here in the States. Fuck babies. Sorry, if Matt Gaetz is listening, I have to make clear that is just sarcasm. Do not fuck babies. Okay, just so you know. I'm not endorsing that.
It was from this morning at the I haven't memorized it. I'm going to need that to move forward. Yeah.
It's the Welcome Center for the migrants.
At the Ursula Processing Center at the U.S. border, shelves and...
Right, the processing center, the welcoming center. It's the processing center. Yeah, they have baby food at the processing center for the families to be processed and admitted to the country legally. Yeah.
Pallets packed with baby formula. The second is from a shelf right here at home. Formula is scarce. This is what America last looks like.
Yeah, she's going to be with us at 6:30.
Yeah, the L should be capitalized. Moving on.
This morning.
Right. Oh, she's going to be on. She's going to be on at what time? Hold on.
At the Ursula Processing Center at the U.S. border, shelves and pallets packed with baby formula. The second is from a shelf right here at home. Formula is scarce. This is what America last looks like.
All right.
Yeah, she's going to be with us at 6:30 this morning.
What time is that on Fox time? What time do they start for reals? I don't know. I honestly, East Coast, I don't know what time Fox and Friends starts. So I'm not sure where to look. But okay, so let's 30 past the hour. So somewhere in here, that's not her. Let's go back an hour. And 30 past the hour. I'm not seeing it there. Let's go to this 30 past the hour. I'm not seeing it there. Let's go to the first 30 past the hour. Oh, there she is. So Fox apparently Fox and Friends starts at 6 a.m. on the East Coast.
You know, and look, we've been talking about this all week. This is amazing that they're waiting this long, and it's also amazing that 4 companies
this long to what?
Control the entire baby formula.
Right. Brian has finally hit on... Brian, you're absolutely correct. It is amazing that 4 companies control the entire output of a 350-person nation. It is insanity.
Industry, so that should have been looked at, but as usual.
Yeah, it should have been looked at. Guess who's been trying to look at that for decades? And guess who's been blocking it?
Well, the first thing they say is, you better not buy too many, no more hoarding, and you better not be gouging if you're one of the companies or you're one of the branches.
Right, these are all good things.
That happen to have too much. Why is it always the evil business trying to gouge? Why is it
the one of the 4 monopolies that control the entire market? Why is it one of them? It's a good question, Brian. We'll never know.
Americans trying to hoard? Just make sure things like this will happen. This something should be happening at, I don't know, the Secretary of Commerce. That might...
None of this would be happening if we stopped caring about killing babies. So knock it off, FDA. Sarcasm.
Come in handy. Our supply chain former mayor of South Bend, that might be interesting. This is amazing that it gets to this point.
You know what?
Right. And you just had the answer. You just had the crux of the problem there, Brian. There are 4 companies. I think there's actually 5. But there are very, very few companies that control the entire output for the entire nation. That's the problem. Even if Abbott had multiple factories, no, it costs less money to consolidate it all in one big factory and then ship it out. Shouldn't be done that way.
Tells me if you're an American and you know how to make this baby formula, open up your own company, because we need more of these companies. This is such an essential.
Just like that.
Yeah, you have to get FDA.
Wait, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's make some baby formula so that old man Winters can't buy the community center. Gonna have a montage.
The approval and all of
sitting there trying out the different formulas. It's like powdered milk, cocaine, boom, it explodes. Sitting there like all black soot, my face, hair's standing on end. Gonna have a montage.
That, but someone out there could do it.
Sure.
And they should clean up the Abbott.
Someone out there can just make baby formula, right? Can't they? In what world do these people live? I'm gonna do it in my theater in the barn. That's right, Aunt Random.
Plant immediately.
Well, listen, it was a mistake for the White House not to have Abbott on that call yesterday. Given the...
Abbott is busy and they cannot produce right now. Why? Because they killed fucking babies, Steve. I don't know which part of that is hard to understand. Am I saying it incorrectly? Stop killing babies. Is that confusing?
Fact that the White House is now scrambling, because this is the...
Is there any evidence? Do we know for a fact that the White House is refusing to talk to Abbott?
Lead story on all the channels now. It's, do you have a baby? Can you find it? Don't hoard.
Can you find the baby? Do you know where your baby is? Coming up on this hour with Jake Tapper. Do you know where your baby is, America? Can you find it?
Or to Brian's point. But ultimately, I would make this prediction. I bet sometime today the federal government announces that plant is going to be open. Hopefully. I bet the CDC or the...
It's going to be open anyway.
FDA announces, you know what, we're going to clear that plant. They can go ahead and start cranking it up. America, calm down.
Yeah, even if it takes...
That's
okay. Let's just check the FDA press releases, see if that's been announced. That's his prediction for today. And there was an announcement 3 days ago. And that announcement was about... Let's see, here's the FDA roundup. They put these out every few days. Okay, let me just do a quick search for formula, because these can be no announcement on formula. Let me see if there's anything that says baby. Nothing says baby. Food? Well, that's going to be dozens of things because it's the Food and Drug Administration. So I've out-foisted myself. Animal food, unsafe food, additives, animal food, animal food, animal food, food supply. FDA is in charge of the nation's food supply. We knew that. Aha! Here it is. May 10th, 3 days ago. FDA takes important steps to improve supply of infant and specialty formula products. All right? So I'll make a prediction that 3 days ago, the FDA is going to announce that they've taken important steps to improve infant supply. Does nobody on Fox know how this works? Increased availability, specialty formula products. At February 7th, blah, blah, blah. We recognize that many consumers have been able to access infant formula and critical medical foods they are accustomed to using and are frustrated by their inability to do so. We are doing everything in our power to ensure there is adequate product available where and when they need it, said the FDA commissioner. Ensuring the availability of safe, sole source nutrition products like infant formula is of the utmost importance to the FDA. Our teams have been working tirelessly to, you know what, I want you working tiredly. I want this to exhaust you. That's how much effort I want you. I don't want anybody working tirelessly. To address and alleviate supply issues, and will continue. If you're not tired, you're not working hard enough. Get out there and hustle and change up. Our teams have been working tirelessly to address and alleviate supply issues and will continue doing everything within our authority to ensure the production of safe infant formula products. Okay, and then there's a list of things that they've been doing. All right, so this is 3 days ago. So apparently somebody is paying attention before it's the lead story on Fox and Friends.
That's my prediction.
Marcy says, my parents were part of the carnation milk Caro syrup in the baby bottle generation. Yeah, I think I remember that. I think it was delicious. I was allergic to soy, so I was a problem child.
It takes 4 times the number of inspectors or 10 times the number of inspectors to get in there and make sure it's clean and it's safe and that more babies will not die, because there were 4 babies.
Steve's doing the math. 4 times, 10 times.
Yeah. They said they were infected.
He's keeping the math on his lap, too. You guys can see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. I'm not zoomed in. Maybe we should zoom in just on the math that Steve is doing. Here she goes. 4. This is 4 and 10 times. This is Steve working up the old thinky think machine. Let's watch him. Here it comes.
And start cranking it up. America, calm down.
Yeah, even if it takes...
That's my prediction.
Even if it takes 4 times the number...
So he predicted something that happened 3 days ago. Even if it takes 4 times...
...of inspectors or 10 times the number of inspectors to get in there and make sure it's clean and it's safe and that more babies will not die, because there were 4 babies...
He does 1, 2, 3, and then keeps the 3 on his knee, just in case. 3 on the Knee was the name of my high school band, by the way.
Yeah. They said...
And then, of course, the first album was 4 on the Floor. It all adds up. It all makes sense.
They were infected with a bacteria, some salmonella, and 2 of the babies died, but then they never found the salmonella inside the plant.
They've had 100 days. They've had 100 days to figure it out.
Yeah, I know, because guess what? Bacteria is very, very, very tiny. Tinier than that. Squeeze your fingers together as tightly as you can. That's where bacteria can hide. Also in a moist soap dish.
No.
Stop using soap dishes, people.
Get people in there, clean it up, and start cranking this out.
Yeah, why aren't they doing anything? Come on, guys. Why don't you just clean the plant of all bacteria? Come on.
Babies are going to bed hungry.
Open it today.
All right. Still.
Okay, better than dying, but okay. But why don't they just go clean the machines? Why don't they take a magic sponge eraser and just get in there? Why don't they do it? Guys, come on.
Free crack pipes. I know, a dream come true. A new report claims they're being given away at safe drug sites, which could qualify for funding for the Biden administration. Here the
which could qualify as funding.
Response from the White House, which they denied doing in the past.
And pain at the pump. The new record high.
Yeah, record high gas prices, we know. Let's jump ahead here to the baby formula lady, because I want to hear the outrage. Here we go. Oh, the WAPO did a check of it as well. This is going to be good, guys. Oh, they keep her on for a while. Let me back up. Beep, beep, beep. More. Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. And this might be it. Jumping in. Hi, Eve. Go ahead.
Formula is scarce. This is what America...
Okay, so this Kat Kamek, this Congress baby from... boy, that was in poor taste. Speaking of formula, formula tastes horrible, by the way. I far prefer breast milk, and I'm willing to pay a premium.
Last looks like. Congresswoman Kat Cammack joins us now. Good morning to you, Congresswoman.
Good morning, Ainsley. How are you
Good morning. Doing well, thank you. So tell us how you received this photo, because the news broke yesterday and we were all appalled.
You know, just like you, I was equally...
Okay, why are you appalled? Why are you appalled that we're feeding babies? Because the babies are not citizens? I'm struggling here. Why is this an outrage?
Appalled. And
Eve, you live in San Diego. I'm going to be in San Diego. I'll wave. Not right now. I'm not going to be in San Diego right now.
And it was earlier in the week I had received a text message from several different border agents.
A text message from several different border agents.
Sending me pictures and videos of stocked...
Where are the videos? Show me the videos.
Warehouses, pallets of baby formula.
Hold on, we have her up here. Let me go, and I want to see the videos on her Twitters. She's here somewhere. Hold on. Let me see if I can dig that up, because I really want to see the videos. We already saw that. We already did. Here we go. This is her. So, Kat Cammack. This is her. Okay, there's the actual tweet again. And this is something, shout out to moms. Okay. Democrats are welcoming illegals into the U.S. without a second thought. These same people held onto mask mandates and COVID guidance under the guise of public health. It seems it's more convenient for their negative to put a welcome mat at the front door than to do their jobs. It's just a mishmash of words that don't actually mean anything. Here she's dating or married to a firefighter. There you go. Thank you for your services, her husband. I don't even have to say it, guys. I don't even have to say it. He's a medic, by the way. So cool. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Agents themselves have families, and they have family members that can't get this baby formula in the stores in Texas and Arizona.
Right, show us those. I'm interested to see those. And if they're having trouble getting that formula in Texas or in Arizona, let's get the public health department involved. Let's get them some formula. Rather than tweeting about how you're so angry that brown babies are not dying, how about you tell us who those people are so we can help them out? I'd be glad to do it. Hell, if they're down in California, I'll drive down to San Diego.
Mexico. Yeah.
I'll go over to my store right here. I'll find me a border agent that needs formula, and I'll see whatever I can do to make it happen.
Yet they go to work and they're unloading pallets of baby food out of the back of tractor trailers. It's outrageous. Right?
Because the babies get formula. Still, I'm missing it. What am I missing here, guys? Why am I not outraged?
If you have to sum it up, this is exactly what America Last looks like. Meanwhile, moms are...
Oh, here we go. This is The Office. So Nido, Nestle. So this is, okay, so we have a bunch of formula. Good, that's more information. Thank you. Yes, there's formula there for the babies. Right? So do you suggest that we go in there and we take the formula away from those babies whose parents cannot leave the facility and distribute it to American babies?
Across the country are panicking. They can't...
By the way, I would love to go back and look at Kat Cammack. I want to go look at Kat Cammack's record on voting for money for babies. Because I'm willing to bet, because she's a Republican, she's voted against everything in the last 1.5 years. And I'd be correct, because I know for a fact that there were money for infant formula in the Build Back Better plan, and it was all voted against.
Get their hands on formula, and as you said, 40% across the country is out. In my state, close to 50% of baby formula is out, and that's in Florida and several...
Okay, so you got 50%. That's a glass half full. I should say a bottle half full. If I was clever, I would have said bottle half full.
Other states.
How did the government get their hands on all of this formula when our moms here in America that are here legally can't get their hands on it?
You know...
Okay, those babies are here legally. A baby cannot be anywhere illegally. It is a minor. By definition. Granted, there could be 1 or 2 19-year-old babies out there. It's always an exception. Then I feel like an idiot.
This has been in the works for months. See, back in November of last year, Biden's FDA shut down one of our nation's largest manufacturers of baby formula. But they did so without a plan to backfill the 43% that this manufacturer makes.
November? This was February. Is there something else I don't know?
Up in the marketplace share. So again, no surprise to any of us, Biden doesn't have a plan. So they shut this plant down, no plan to reopen.
She said November, right? It's February. I'm looking at the FDA right here. Okay. February 17th, the agency warned consumers not to use a certain powdered formula products from Abbott Nutritionist Sturgis, Michigan facility. And Abbott initiated a volunteer recall of certain products. February 17th. I'm looking at the Abbott voluntary recall. The date is February 17th. She's saying it was November. Is there another baby formula shortage?
Open, no plan to refix it. Without a plan.
Yeah, why aren't they refixing this?
To backfill the 43.
Can't get their hands on it.
Yeah.
You know, this has been in the works for months. See, back in November of last year, Biden's FDA shut down one of our nation's largest manufacturers of baby formula.
Yeah, none of that is true.
But they did fix it. They don't backfill the 43% that this manufacturer makes up in the marketplace share. So again, no surprise to any of us, Biden doesn't have a plan. So they shut this plant down, no plan to reopen, no plan to refix it.
Well, first they should fix it, and then they should refix it. It's about time. And maybe that's just a flex on my part. Hold on, my reflex is coming. That's my reflex now, is to just automatically criticize her verbiage. It's one of my favorite words, verbiage. Verbiage. Because you have to listen so hard to hear that I. Just like hearing an R in February.
They don't address the regulatory environment or the tariffs that are contributing to this. They have a broken supply chain. So seeing...
They don't address the regulatory environment on baby formula. Okay. All right. We need to get rid of those regulations. We need somebody like Trump back in who's going to get rid of the regulations that stop the baby formula companies from building highways.
They started sourcing an additional...
Damn right, Allison. Should have fixed it right the first time. Judges all agree.
Amount of baby formula to accompany the more than 1,000 infants that are in custody along our southwest border. And it's just infuriating because, again...
What? Wait? What? Sorry?
To this, they have a broken supply chain. So seeing this, they started sourcing an additional...
By the way, all of this coverage is supplying the United States with panic. People are probably hoarding baby formula. Oh, I mean, I know they are, but we've seen it happen.
Additional amount of baby formula to accompany the more than 1,000 infants that are in custody along our southwest border. And it's just infuriating.
And she's upset about that?
Because
she's infuriating by having the appropriate amount of baby formula? What? Again, why? What am I missing here? Where's my outrage? I feel left out.
Again, this is putting American moms, dads, and kids last. And no one's arguing that we shouldn't have this for those babies at the...
Okay. So what the fuck are we arguing?
Border. But Biden invited them here. He has created...
No, Biden did not invite them here. He has specifically said don't come. Kamala Harris has said specifically don't come. Mayorkas has said specifically don't come. But every Republican has said the borders are open. You're being invited in. That's where they're getting that information.
This crisis. He's created the supply chain crisis, and he's done nothing to address it, and it is infuriating.
He has done much to address it.
Are you suggesting that maybe the government knew about this shutdown in February and then they just...
She said November. That's what she suggested. That's what she stated.
Never said anything and they started hoarding the formula?
Listen, they created it. Biden's...
They didn't create it. Salmonella created it. So if you've got a problem, you need to speak to Mr. Ella. I believe he's the Deputy Secretary for Baby Formula under the Biden administration.
FDA shut this plant down with...
They didn't.
Zero plans in place to get it back online.
Yeah, but that's not how it went at all.
And operational. Then they have drugged their feet along. In fact, this week when questioned...
Someone's been drugged.
...about it, the press secretary laughed and said, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. This is..."
No, she didn't. No, she did not. She was asked a question. She said, "I don't have that information," but because it's kind of a like, do you have all this information? Can you give it to me right now? And she responded with, "You know what? I don't." She didn't laugh and said, "I don't know anything about it."
This is what's crazy. They laugh about a baby formula.
Sorry, Stephanie's correct. It's Sam and Ella. So either one of them.
Shortage, the richest nation in the world, and we are scratching and scrounging around for baby formula.
Right, because we've got 4 companies supplying all the baby formula, and one of them was shut down.
Knew this was coming. Their attitude towards everything is ignore and misdirect, and that's what's
I don't think that's true.
Frustrating. They ignore.
But thanks for the misdirection.
Or the fact that there is a crisis at our border. That.
By the way, I think Biden made a huge error by appointing misdirection as charge of Deputy Secretary of Homeland Baby Formula.
They created, and I'll say this. People who care, they show up. Our Border Patrol agents, they're showing up every day taking care of these kids that Biden has invited here. These kids are being trafficked, they are being abused, and that is why I can't call him Commander-in-Chief.
So wait, the kids are being trafficked, but they're in the holding facility. What? The babies. The babies are being trafficked right now, and somehow the United States government is involved in Ursula at the detention facility trafficking these babies. Well, there's the solution right there. Just what you do is you get rid of the waiting period for buying a baby and just hand them out the door. What do you want? What kind of baby? Oh, yeah, no, we are completely out of white babies. This has kind of light skin. It might be mixed. You want that? Just take it. Just go. Call it whatever we don't care. Rename the baby, but do it early. Let the baby sniff your shoes so that the baby becomes accustomed. Keep the baby in a room for 2 weeks if you have other babies in the household. Let them smell each other.
Chief, he's the trafficker in chief, and his response,
he's the trafficker in chief. Okay, this lady be nuts, Kat. Come on. I love that your hubby is a firefighter and he's hanging out with all those other men down at the fire station all night long. I love that. You know what? I'm an ally to all the firefighters.
Hasn't been to the border.
I'm not saying anything.
Kamala, she didn't even really go to the border. Democrat?
She did. Kamala went to the border.
They don't want to show.
By the way, she lives in Florida, this lady. That does not have a border with Mexico.
Up. So don't let the left pretend like they actually care, because people who care, they show up. And you know who's showing up? Republicans. And
what the fuck are you even talking? Show up for what? Dun 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 dun. Show up for what? Dun 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 dun.
And that's why we're going to take the House back in November.
Congresswoman Jen Psaki was asked, did the president, when did he...
Jen Psaki's not a congresswoman.
First know about this shutdown of the Abbott lab and the formula problem that we're having. Yeah. And she said, I'm not going to get into the internal briefings, which makes us all wonder, did he know about this, and why, if he did, didn't he do anything about it? Now, the Washington Post is claiming they're giving you 4 Pinocchios. They say this is a ridiculous faux outrage. The shortage of baby formula is a serious issue that the administration is seeking to address, but at the same time, the administration cannot be faulted for following the law and providing baby formula to undocumented immigrants.
Yes, that is correct.
Anyone who suggests this is the result of specific Biden policies. For example, his reckless, out-of-touch priorities earns 4 Pinocchios. What's your response?
Listen, the fact checkers need to be fact-checked. No.
Okay, I will do that. They're correct, because that's what I've been saying this entire broadcast. It's the law.
No one has been saying that the pallets of baby formula going to the border are causing this shortage. Let me be clear about that.
Okay, what the hell are you doing on TV? What? You're saying that we're putting America last because of the pallets going to the border. But we're not saying that that's causing it.
That. What we are saying is that it is the Biden FDA and the Biden administration that has had zero plans to backfill their option, their choice to shut down one of.
It's no choice. When companies are killing babies, we shut them down, you fuckhead. Oh my God, this woman is a moron. Florida's 3rd district. It's got to be in the Panhandle. Hold on. Let's find out where Florida's 3rd district. Oh, come on. We'll bring this over. Here we go. We'll pump this up here, and we'll go Florida 3rd district. Boom. Here we go. It's not the Panhandle. It is a subvariant of Jackson. It's outside Gainesville, in the middle of nowhere. Show me the map, please. Show me the entire map. Let's go. Wikipedia has good maps, usually. There we go. Not the Panhandle. I'm surprised. People in that district, which is all red, by the way. How? How did you elect this idiot? Yeah. No. I'm just going to say it right now. What she's saying is the FDA should not have oversight over baby formula. That's what she's saying. Now, I'm hesitant usually to judge people this quickly. Remember, like 20 minutes ago, I wasn't really sure who she did, but her name sounded familiar, and I was like, "Was she? Is that a congressperson? I think that's a congressperson." And she is from Florida. So we're all learning all the time. But for her to say, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, certainly don't want to put formula in it. Here it is.
Going to the border are causing this shortage. Let me be clear about that. What we are saying is that it is the Biden FDA and the Biden administration that has had zero plans to backfill their option, their choice to shut down one of our nation's largest manufacturers.
She's saying that the FDA had a choice to shut down the nation's largest manufacturer. First off, it was a voluntary recall. So, just so many stupid things about this. So many stupid things. The FDA found no evidence of the salmonella at the plant. Okay, with Abbott's testing formula, blah, blah, blah. We know parents depend. The products under recall have the multi-digit number on the bottom of the container. You can contact these people, Abbott, blah, blah, blah. And let's go to their Abbott News. Connect with us at abbott.com. Here we go. And consumers. And they're talking about no baby diabetes care, diagnostic testing, heart health, pain and movement, our mission. There's on Abbott's newsroom. Here we go. Let's go to their newsroom. Press releases. Physicianly clinical, FDA clearance. Sexually transmitted diseases. Abbott to release metabolic nutrition formulas. Still, no. What about... All right, let's go back to February here. I am not... Hold on, let me search for formula on this page. Formula. Here we go. No. Any others? Keep going down. That's March of military members. That's Freestyle Libre. That's a diabetes thing. Here we go. Here we go. Here it is right here. Abbott voluntarily recalls powder formula manufactured at one plant. That's right on the Abbott site. By the way, here it is. Abbott voluntarily recalls it. But she's saying the FDA shouldn't. They had a choice. Yeah, and they gave Abbott a choice to voluntarily recall all that formula. And Abbott did the right thing. They voluntarily recalled the formula. The FDA didn't do that. In terms of the plant shutting down, of course you have to shut the plant down. The plant down. Which is the plan.
They produce 43% of the marketplace share of baby formula in the nation, and they shut it down with no plan to backfill that. They haven't addressed the regulatory environment that is causing manufacturers to go out.
What, the one where we asked them not to kill babies?
They haven't addressed the tariffs. When asked about it, they laugh. And now...
That's the incoming press secretary who laughed not at what the government is doing, but when asked for very specific data that she didn't have on her at the time. And it wasn't like, you want data? Oh, God, that's a good one. Babies are dying? But I do happen to know of a particular news organization that when we were discussing the babies dying, played baby laughter. Can't remember who that is right now, but I remember seeing that at some point.
Psaki says, oh, we aren't going to get into the internal discussions. It's because there have been none. And now DHS...
There have been lots and lots. Right there on the FDA page. We just looked at it.
Is scrambling, telling Border Patrol agents that there is no rank and file members of Border Patrol allowed into those warehouses to take photos because the outrage that is being caused over this, where American mothers are panicking and they can't find formula, but the people at the border can.
But again, you just said that you're not saying that the reason for the shortage is because the babies from the border are getting food. So what? This lady's just all over the place. Did another manufacturer step up production when Abbott started having problems? They did. But there are limits to how much you can produce, especially when there's only 4 companies.
They are trembling and they are scrambling, trying to put statements out to mislead and misdirect the American people. It's BS, and we need to...
Nobody's misdirecting anybody. What are you... You are?
Call them out on it.
Yeah, all these women in Congress, including your...
And then she just shakes her head. There's a lot of head shaking going on. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just such shock and outrage.
For speaking out about this. Elise Stefanik was on with us yesterday, and she has a 9-month-old son who depends on formula to be fed. So our hearts go out to all these moms that are driving an hour, 2 hours, calling their neighbors, calling their family in other states, trying to get this formula. I can't imagine.
And I completely sympathize and empathize for those people. Again, I used to drive to Canada. I used to go to another country to get baby formula. I get it. I'm with you.
Imagine the panic they must feel. Thank you, Congresswoman, for fighting for all the moms and the babies out there.
Thank you for fighting by publishing pictures which are misleading. Thank you for doing that. My God.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ainsley.
You're welcome. Still ahead, the White House is defending protesters attempting to intimidate.
Why? White House hypocrisy.
Supreme Court justices outside of their homes, but crackdowns.
Again, this is a law. The law that says you can't protest outside judges' homes, that is the one law that I've come across that cannot be enforced. Well, there's others, but not. Anyway, no one has ever tried on this because the judge would have to recuse themselves. Because there's an automatic, the conflict of interest is built in there. It's a weird law. So maybe somebody has been tried and was convicted, but it should never have been convicted. Yeah, what are we going on? We're already coming up on an hour and a half so far this morning. But just the outrage just continues. Let's see if they had anybody interesting. It's like a 10-minute My Pillow ad at the end of the broadcast. Okay, here's Peter Ducey. Let's see how this is framed. They go over like a best of, apparently, at the end of the hour this morning. I'm not going to watch that. They go over the best of Jen Psaki with Peter asking her questions, probably not showing the parts where she... Oh, yeah, this whole half of this broadcast is about Jen Psaki. Living rent-free! Anyway, she's going to be on a competitive network here coming up. I'm not sure how... Here we go. I saw a chart. Let's look at the chart. Here we go. Oh, no. I was trying to go for the chart that I was going the scanning, and I think it's going to come up with Jen Psaki.
You've got a grocery store, a gas station.
Okay, gas station, grocery store.
A laundromat, you got farms. You see, because of the spectrum of your businesses, you see what people are...
Oh, yeah, by the way, how would you try that? How would you... Is this law constitutional? Is this a violation of the First Amendment right? How would you try that? Because the Supreme Court couldn't hear it.
Are dealing with. People are hurting.
Yeah, it's not pretty. And I think it's only going to get worse
Or it could get better. It got better last month.
What's coming, the high prices, the lack of product right now, the labor shortage, it's starting.
Right, and the product will catch up with demand. That's the way the economy works. It's the beauty of the free market system. Somebody will produce the things that people want. The problem is finding employees when you're not paying enough.
Starting to stockpile, and it's going to happen real fast.
Absolutely. And in addition, you know, at your gas station, I don't know what your price is, but the national average for diesel as of yesterday, another record high.
And it should be cheaper than gasoline. Diesel's a byproduct. Diesel is what you get when you're trying to make gasoline. And really the money in the barrel of oil, it's the chemicals that go into everything from the paint behind me on the wall to chewing gum. And probably the printing on this shirt. It's everywhere. That's the real money. The pharmaceuticals. That's where the real money is. But then they're also making record profit on gas. And then they've decided to hike up the diesel because the poor diesel truck drivers have no choice. Remember diesel? The reason that all the trucks are diesel is because it used to be dirt cheap compared to gasoline. That's why we went that way with the infrastructure. By the way, they're now starting to use the hydrogen trucks out there. And clean hydrogen is being produced. But, well, that's not the right word for it. Renewable hydrogen is being produced. You can use the sun's energy to harness compressed hydrogen. And now they're storing it in salt caves. It's good things are happening. But I'm biased towards hydrogen because one of my cars runs on hydrogen.
$5.56 per gallon. You know, I'm old enough, Pam, to remember the 70s gas crisis, and it was very expensive to fill up your car. And
These are the diesel prices. This is the graph I was looking for. So, yeah. Last year was $3.15. And now, yep, supply and demand. Plus the companies making record profits. It was, I want to say 15 to 20 years ago when it flip-flopped. Suddenly diesel was more expensive and then got more and more and more expensive. Because the gasoline companies realized, well, now the truckers are hooked. They've got no option. There's no gas trucks anymore. Let's pump up the price of diesel, no pun intended.
I would remember going to the gas station and just putting $1 or $2 worth in to get me to school and back. Are there people?
Okay, well, that worked out. That makes sense mathematically. Like the lady we bought this house from. She's, oh, yeah, just, you know what? It doesn't really affect me because I just fill up half my tank.
People who come up to your place and are they in the same situation? They need to fill up their car, but they can only buy a little bit?
That's always the case with gas, though.
Yeah, they'll do that all the time, a little bit at a time, just to get by. It's tightening up,
yeah.
And you're really seeing it with the truck drivers.
Well, if they're having trouble paying for it, there are 11 million jobs available in the United States right now. There's never been that many open jobs. So if they need a better job, that's, you know what? Just use that last dollar to get to that interview. By the way, huge problem right now as well is people ghosting, accepting positions, and just never showing up because they get a better offer somewhere else. And all of that nonsense about, oh, Biden is paying people to stay home, the Democrats, it's all over. Nobody's getting that extra unemployment money anymore. That ended more than a year ago.
And that's where it's going to really start hurting the American pocketbook.
Sure. And Joseph,
this administration's got to do something fast.
Absolutely.
Well, what about a child tax credit? You know, the one that ran out at the end of the year that all the families were getting $300, $600, $950 a month if they had children. Per child, $300 at least. And that went away. And yet no Republicans are upset by that.
And Joseph, you know, in your business...
What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us as a society? Why are the Democrats not yelling that from the rooftops or anywhere with a camera, really? You want to be on television when you're yelling that. So, like a rooftop press conference would probably... Why don't we do that?
Pizza and food.
Yum.
I understand you...
I want pizza and food.
You feel like it's harder now...
I'm hungry. What time is it? 1:16. No wonder I'm hungry.
Than it was during COVID.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, during COVID, you know, people, despite the fact that there weren't people out, people were ordering. People were spending their money.
Okay.
Now, it's not only a matter of people not spending the money, it's how much do you want to pay? right? How much do you want to pay with inflation so high?
Yeah, and I understand.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, ordering pizza has always been how much do you want to pay? That's how it works.
Some days it's on the menu.
Speaking of dumb days.
But you cannot sell a steak rice bowl. You can't sell a steak sub. And you must be thinking, why am I buying steak?
What?
Yeah, I mean, if it's available, I mean, you got to look at it. Beef is up 28%.
Yep.
Dairy's up 23%.
Yep.
You can only pass on the cost to the customer for so long. You know, there's a ceiling how much we can charge. You know, and if we don't get the beef, we can't sell it.
Absolutely.
Are they not getting beef? Because that is, where's the beef? That had just come out recently that there were no meat shortages during COVID. That was all a ruse by the meat producers and Trump to force the workers to come back to work and die. And we're not outraged by it because we're out of outrage when it comes to Trump. Oh, that was happening? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, we knew it at the time. And we knew that the FDA was dumbing down the inspections under Trump. We knew that was happening.
Charles, what would your...
Rachel Maddow did some fantastic reporting about it all. But that was 2 years ago now, so we don't care.
Message be to Joe Biden? You know, he's there in the White House. He doesn't see with his own...
Alice says New Jersey and New York City, or the state of New York, has the best pizza in the U.S. That's correct.
...own two eyes, what people like you...
Wow. 4 of the 5 judges agree, and I think the 5th one's just not here right now. No, I'm sorry. The 5th one is actually eating pizza right now, so it doesn't want to get the bells dirty.
With.
He's got to see. I mean, you got to go to the supermarket. I'm pretty sure he has contacts to go to the supermarket. They're empty shelves.
You go to the supermarket, you bring your grocery ID with you.
And then when the shelves are full, the prices are through the roof. I mean, he's got to do something. This administration has got to step up. I mean, everything has gone up since...
Yeah, what's the solution? Tell us the solution. You're welcome to, Mr. Owner of Rock City Pizza. I feel for the guy. Prices are up. Inflation was up 8.3% last month, even higher the month before. Yes, it's terrible. What's the solution?
Joe Biden and his administration has been in office.
Right, it's supply and demand.
How
about giving your customers $300 more a month? $600 more, $900 more. How about giving families that might go out once a week or once a month to buy your pizza, how about giving them the resources to do so? What about that? How about it?
Has to be a change, and it has to be a change fast.
Yeah, and Pam...
Why are there not pizza place owners on television saying, please, bring back the child tax credits?
If the president saw you... If the president walked in your door... right there, now. What would you tell him about your situation?
Sir, we have no ice cream.
Well, I tell him he needs to get up earlier in the morning and get working on this. He's got to be more proactive and get ahead of the problems, not wait till they're a problem and then try to solve them. He has to be a business leader for us.
All right. Pam Coy.
If I was Biden, I'd give her a call.
There in Wisconsin, and Joseph Charles in Boston. Joseph, what's your website if people want to buy one of your steak subs?
Oh, they have steak subs at the pizza place? That's what he was talking about. I want a steak sub now.
Go to rockcitypizzeria.com.
All right. Thank you, sir. Pam, thank you as well.
Thank you.
You bet. All right. Little free commercial. All right. Still ahead.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to go to rockcitypizza.com. Hold on. Rockcitypizza.com. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, great. Did I hear it wrong? Does this guy even have a pizza place? Hold on, let's go back. Did I spell it wrong?
On this, he's got to be more proactive and get ahead of the problems, not wait till they're a problem and then try to solve them. He has to be a business leader for us.
All right. Pam Coy there in Wisconsin, and Joseph Charles in Boston. Joseph, what's your website if people want to buy one of your steak subs?
You go to rockcitypizzeria.com.
Rockcitypizzeria.com. Okay. My bad. Let's go. Rock City Pizza. Ria? Right, there we go. Rock City Pizza. Rock City Pizza. Alston. This is not in Boston. You liar. That's Alston, Mass. Order online. Okay, let's see what pizza's going to run you in order online. Here we go. This is loading. Okay. Let's do delivery to here. Let's do ASAP. A pizza, a Hawaiian pizza, 16-inch Hawaiian pizza, $24. That's on the expensive side. But it's the steak bomb, $24 as well. Let's look at their subs. Cold subs? No. What about the steak sub? Where hot subs? There it is. Hot sub, a steak and cheese bomb is going to send you back $13, $9 for a large. Now, this is what I want to do. We're going to take this page. Hold on. We're going to take this page. We're going to take the menu page. And we're going to go to the Wayback Machine. Archive.org. Sorry, I spelled it incorrectly. Not ESPN. Come on. Oh my God. Come on, Kevin. There. Yes, Internet Archive. We're going to search the archive for that menu. Okay, and no response. How about, what if we do this? No, Allison. I don't want, no, Alston, RockCityPizza.com. Okay, let's see if that has been found. No, it's not there. What if we just get rid of the Alston Pizzeria? Okay, so the Internet Archive doesn't know anything about this pizza place. That's really, really... Okay, here we go. RockCityPizza.com. Here we go. Let's go back to 2020. Just for the purposes of knowing. 2020 in April. So the beginning of the pandemic. Here we go. Here's a snapshot of Rock City Pizza. We're going to go to... if I order online, let's go to hot subs. There's no link there. Let's see if I order online, if it's going, it's probably going to just shoot me up to today. Page not available on the web. Let's see if there's any other way, if there's maybe a picture of the menu. Menu, here we go. Our menu, Rock City Pizza. This is available from, there we go. Good. Okay, so this is 2 years ago. The Blanco Hawaiian. This is from... There's a capture of this. Give me the exact date. This is August 10th. This is the middle of the pandemic. A Blanco... well, let's just go with the steak bomb, okay? The steak bomb, $21 back then. Let's go here. Let's go to pizza. Let's go to the steak bomb. $24. So it's gone up $3 in price. The Blanco Hawaiian is 16 inches, $24 there. And here it is $21. So the price have gone up $3. Let's check out the hot subs. The steak and cheese bomb. A large is $12.50. Today, the steak and cheese bomb is $13. It's gone up 50 cents in 2 years. He is not raising his prices as much as his costs have gone up. I hope he does well. But 50 cents on a sub over 2 years? It's not that much. I mean, we can find out the exact percentages. Here's how you do that. You pull up your calculator and you put in, the way to do that, if we want to go to actual dollars, is that's 50 cents. And then you divide it by the $13. Let's be fair about it. Let's divide it by the $12.50 that it was. It's gone up 4%. So if your prices have gone up for that steak 38% or 28% or 18%, whatever they are, you need to raise your prices more. And you hate to tell that because the consumers will say, like, I'm not doing it. So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. In terms of the pizza, let's do the medium pizza. And I believe if the prices were 21, they're now 24. That's gone up 13%. That's not right. Sorry, I did it backwards. But it's going to be the same. Divided by 21. So about 14%. A raise in prices. If your prices have gone up that much in 2 years, probably more in 2 years because things were really cheap back in August of 2020, or maybe prices should have been lower during 2020, but who knows? It's a pandemic and hard to say. Anyway, I hope the guy survives, and I want to see where this is. Continue to the site. Let's go to the modern day site. Contact. Let's find out where they are. Well, it was right there on the main page. Let's go back. I saw it. Here we go. Cambridge Street. Let's find out where that is in Boston. Let's see if it's anywhere near I would go in Boston. It's not far. Right across from Cambridge. So he probably picks up some Harvard orders. So good. I hope you do well, my friend. If you're watching. He probably isn't. But if he's watching. But yeah, prices are going up everywhere. I don't know how you fix that when it's entirely a supply and demand issue. You could, hear me out, you could give your customers more resources in order to buy your product. But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Customer satisfaction, #1 priority. Rock City Pizza. Hours, subscribe. Only open to 11 p.m. for a pizza place? That seems like an early closing, especially on a Friday and Saturday. I don't want to tell you how to do your business, but I used to work at a pizza joint, and people order pizza after midnight. Maybe it's East Coast. They go to bed so early over there, a bunch of snowflakes. But good luck to you. And he's got subs. Here's what I would do. I would stop making the subs at 11 o'clock, and then I would concentrate on the pizza. Plus, if this was Restaurant Impossible, that guy would walk in there and get all mad that you have all of these choices. Way too many. You're serving burgers at a pizza place? Get rid of them. They're just taking up overhead for you. Wings are on the outside. The subs, even with the subs, you got a bunch of subs, cold subs. Look at all these subs. That's a lot of inventory you have to keep around. Figure out what's not... Parmesan truffle fries? First off, yum! Thank you for your service. But take a look at your inventory. You got stuff on here that's not making you good profit for the amount of effort that it takes. Start trimming that menu down. And that's just not just me saying that. That's Restaurant Impossible guy saying that. That's the industry saying that. Your menu is way too broad. Oh, but we sell a lot of onion rings. Do ya? I understand you got a fry pit. That's good. You can make your onion rings. But do you really sell that many? But now he's probably just making them out of frozen fries. So figure out what's making you the most money and capitalize on that. Okay. Let's see. Alfredo sauce somewhere. I've lost track of the chat. Steak is crazy expensive places. I'm so hungry right now, guys. I got to stop the broadcast. So, at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we'll do ourselves a movie. If you're not involved in the movie already and you're watching this and you want to be involved in the movie, talk to people in the chat. You know what I'll do? Maybe I'll leave the chat open for just a few minutes. Here, we'll do this. Let's see. There we go. Can I bring up some... There we go. Can I change that? Yes, I can. I'm going to make a copy of it. Hold on. This is obviously for when we do the former president's copy rants, and we're going to paste it here. Can I paste? There we go. We can. We're going to get rid of this one. We're going to go in here and stop it. How do I fix it? There we go. Okie doke, and I've done my bit there. So if you're in Boston or anywhere near Boston, please give the folks over at Rock City Pizzeria, rockcitypizzeria.com. Please give them a shout out and tell them I sent you. They're not going to give you a discount. And if you go into Rock City Pizza, just mention, hey, you might want to do the math on which items are not making you as much profit as they can be. Get rid of them. Slice them off the menu. Pun intended. All right, kids, I'm going to leave this up running for a little while. You guys have a good day. We'll see you for the movie tonight. If you're not in the movie group, talk to the people in chat right now. Maybe they'll let you in. Otherwise, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Enjoy Game 7 tomorrow night. If you're a hockey fan, especially if you're from Boston. Oh, Boston's got a Game 7 coming up. Well, hold on, right? Do they? Hold on. I believe they took the schedule to Game 7. Games today. Where's Boston? Yeah, tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. That'll be, what, 3:30? 1, 2, 3, 4:30. 4:30 out there on the East Coast. The Boston Hurricanes play. The series is tied 3-3, so that's a Game 7. I'll be watching. Guys, have a great afternoon. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. And here we go. Be good to Rock City Pizza. And most important, be good to me.